Nintendo Switch is an incredible piece of hardware, but the package as a whole has room for improvement. The fact is, Nintendo's bundled a great handheld with a bulky plastic dock that feels rather primitive by comparison. It's inconvenient to take to a friend supposing you want to play the Switch docked for a full-screen TV experience. Worse still, there's really no insulation between the hard plastics inside it and the Switch's screen. You just have to be careful as you slot the tablet in. Now, of course, Nintendo offers a replacement dock to help with the portability point, but you still pay $90 or £80 for the pleasure. So I wanted something cheaper, more portable, and just generally more convenient to use. Enter the SFANS adapter right here. It's available as a pre-order for $60 on Indiegogo, and in a nutshell, it supplies the same functionality as the official Nintendo dock, but without the bulk. Of course, it uses the same cables as an official dock too, with the AC adapter again giving the Switch juice to run it at its higher GPU clocks and memory clocks. It's the same deal as the official model then, but considerably smaller. So here it is, an early sample sent to the press. First impressions are it's tiny, really tiny, easily pocketable, very light, and with a stylish two-tone grey and black design that's in keeping with the Switch itself. A short USB-C cable is fixed to one side, but really there's not much more to it. The rest of the device is taken up by ports. You get an exact match for the official dock in this sense, with two USB 3.1 ports for charging controllers, a HDMI out, next to a USB-C for power. The surprise is you get a bonus 2 USB-C ports on the right as well, for connecting and charging peripherals. Cable management is clearly a shortfall once you have everything plugged in, but these other ports are at least a neat extra. All this of course means you can take the SFANS in your pocket to a friend's house, and after a quick setup, you're set, running Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for example at 1080p 60 on the bigger screen. For many people, myself included, it's more the convenience of not having to untangle your own Switch dock at home to make that happen. It's a secondary option, sleek, easy to carry, and cabling is less involved than slotting everything behind the cover of the official Switch dock. And at $60, it does undercut the ludicrous pricing of Nintendo's solution. There is a downside to SFANS' approach though. Yes, it costs slightly less and has a host of advantages, but ultimately SFANS is an adapter, not a dock. And that's a key distinction to make. Simply put, there's nowhere to slot the Switch tablet itself, and inevitably you end up laying it flat on the table next to it. This poses a problem because while docked, Switch is designed to ventilate from the back vents, with the hardware's higher clock GPU demanding better airflow. It makes cooling more crucial than ever, but without the official dock pushing it upright, you have to think carefully about how to place the Switch tablet. With that in mind, it's arguably a must to buy a stand for the Switch, and this is supplied as part of a pricier SFANS bundle on Indiegogo. It's an adequate if basic solution, a plastic frame offering 3 angles to rest the tablet and factoring in the Switch's awkward USB-C placement at the bottom. I like it, but to be honest, having to lug this around on top of the SFANS adapter cuts into the sheer convenience and portability of the setup. Collapse the stand down and it's still thinner than traveling with an official dock, sure, but the upgrade is less impressive, and with the price closer to Nintendo's own dock by this point, the value proposition isn't quite as strong. There is a curious twist to this. It's understood that the SFANS uses a similar chipset to Samsung's DeX Station, a dock made to let Galaxy S8 phones work in a PC mode on the big screen. The idea is there's a very similar chipset between them. Well, we've got a DeX here and there's clearly a problem. The fact is, despite rumors of it working with Switch, trying it ourselves, I get no signal from the device at all. It may or may not have some commonality in design, but of the two, only the SFANS actually delivers a picture, suggesting there's more to it. Meanwhile, and courting some controversy among Indiegogo backers, there's another very similar device to the SFANS, circulating in China right now for a much lower $30 price tag. Some users are upset that the SFANS costs more when it's seemingly built on the same technology, but ultimately this is unfair on the device itself. The reusing of parts is widespread in the technology industry, from TV panels to camera sensors in phones. It's common practice to take what's there, tweak it, and bring it to market under your own brand. The real contention here is pricing, and if the SFANS is truly worth that $60. For my money, it's a solid option. I mean, look at it. It's tiny, offers all the functionality of Nintendo's more expensive dock, and actually has more ports. The bigger question is, what does this mean for Switch going forward? Well, the floodgates are inevitably opening, and we should expect to see more unofficial mini docks hitting the market. Here's another alternative. Nyko has its own $50 mini dock solution in development, including a stand for the Switch itself. Barring the outside chance Nintendo blocks these third-party offerings with a firmware update, it looks like the competition will spur manufacturers to create a perfect Switch dock. With a working chipset out in the wild, fundamentally I don't expect the core functionality to be much different between any of the options. Outside of differences in build quality and design, the biggest advantage really is that it could drive prices down over time, especially compared to the official solution. As for SFANS, it's well worth a look for the going price right now. A solid, lightweight option all round, but again, I'd highly recommend getting the stand to go with it. Anyway, that's all from me today. If you did find this useful, please let me know with a like or subscribe, and let me know if you've had any experience with Switch accessories out there, good or bad. But until next time, thanks for watching.